Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about Spike Lee's highest to lowest newest movie that's streaming on Apple TV. I wanted to review this movie because I had to watch it because one is Spike Lee and two is Denzel. So what could go wrong? Well, apparently in 2 hours a lot can go wrong. So what is this movie about? When a Titan music mogul, widely known as having the best ears in the business, is targeted with a ransom plot, he is jammed up in a life or death moral dilemma. This film was made by Spike Lee as a modern day American take on the classic 1963 Japanese crime film by Akira Kurosawa, High and Low. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. I'm not sure I'd watch it after watching this movie. Maybe prior to this movie I would have watched it, but after watching this 2-hour movie, I don't know if I could deal with it. But I hear that it's really, really good. So if anybody has seen it and you think that it's a good watch and I should check it out, let me know in the comments and I may give it a watch. Also, I've been under the weather for a little bit, so hopefully I don't sound too congested and stopped up. But I'm going to try to get through this review either way because I had to get up on this. After watching this 2-hour movie, I ran to YouTube. You know how you run to the comments when you want to see what's going on? I ran to YouTube because I was like, let's see what these reviews are, if it's giving what I'm getting, because what I was feeling, because I'm like, what's going on? Like, Spike Lee, you my boy. Like, I love your movies, and I'm not saying every movie, but if we're going from highest to lowest, this movie has got to be the lowest. I'm so sorry. I did not enjoy this movie. Like, and not all of it is bad, but I just did not enjoy this movie. I did not enjoy Denzel. And I love Denzel, but I just did not enjoy this movie. Now, I'm born and raised in New York. So, you know, I'm never going to be mad about a movie that is centered in New York. Okay, I'm not. But I just felt like, first, it looked like green screen was used a lot in like the images with the penthouse. And I'm like, why? Like, go to New York, like, go and film there. Like, why is there a green screen for something simple as being in a penthouse? Like, I don't understand. Maybe they didn't have the budget for it or something, but I did not like the use of green screen, or it felt like green screen. I did not like that at all. Then I just thought things like Boogie Down Bronx being used so often, Money Making Manhattan, like I'm sorry, but I was just like, we don't really talk like that. Like, you know, yes, Bronx is known as Boogie Down Bronx, but Money Making Manhattan, and then to say it constantly, I was just like, I did not like that. I was like, no, that's not working for me. Denzel, he is playing David King, and he's trying to get control of his company again. He doesn't want to sell it to a competitor called Stray Dog, and you know, he wants to buy back all his rights. He's trying to buy out his partner so he has the controlling votes so that he can keep his business, his music business. So Denzel plays David King. Pam King is his wife, and his son is Trey King. And he also has a godson named Kyle Christopher, who is best friends with Trey King, his son. Paul Christopher is Kyle Christopher's father, and he looks to be the driver of Denzel. He drives him around his Rolls Royce, but they're best friends. So he looked like he just got out of the pen. I don't know if he just got out of the pen, how long he's been out of the pen, but he's no longer in the pen, and he is staying with Denzel. It looks like it appears that he is staying with them inside their penthouse. Now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I never seen him leave to go to his place, to his own home or whatever. So I don't know for sure if he stays with him, but I think that he stays with Denzel. Anyway, Trey and Kyle are at their basketball practice. Now, there's a lot of kids around and everything, but the coach lose sight of the two boys. They sneak off. They want to go get something else to eat. They don't want the food that's provided for them there. Mind you, the coach took their phones, their cell phones and everything, so they have no way to communicate. And the coach is not paying them any mind because he says he has 100 kids and he just cannot keep raps on all of them. Like, I feel like if you have all those kids, you need to be watching all of them, and whatever happens on your watch is your fault. So Denzel gets a call from the police department that his son Trey has been kidnapped, right? So he starts yelling to his wife, and his best friend is there in the home too, Paul. And he's like, they kidnapped my son. They kidnapped our son. They kidnapped Trey. And let me tell you something. Do y'all know the mother that had just cried and said that she couldn't squeeze out a tear because her son was kidnapped in real life, and somebody said hola and she could not squeeze out a tear? Well, she, as the same acting coach as this woman, because she could not squeeze out a tear to act like she was upset about her son being snatched. Let me tell you, hell would have no fury. If, God forbid, somebody told me my child was kidnapped, I am going to go berserk, okay? I am going to lose my mind. There's no way. Like, this woman acts like, oh my gosh, no, not my son. Like, I was like, did y'all not see how she was acting? Y'all didn't think to say cut and let's roll it back. We got to do this like for real. Act like you really have a child that's kidnapped and like you really are upset about it, because what are we doing? But no. They kept the cameras rolling. So anyway, she's not believable that she's upset about her son missing or whatever. So they're all, the cops are there and they're trying to figure out what could have happened and all. They're interviewing the coach, who, that's when he said that, oh, I can't watch all of these kids and stuff. And then one of the police officers is asking for his autograph. Like, what? Like, children are missing. Like, hello, could we wrap this up and everything? Well, anyway, long story short, they grabbed the wrong child. They end up getting Kyle instead of Trey, because Kyle, get this, had the green like little sweatband that Trey be wearing. So he had it on instead of Trey. So they ended up grabbing the wrong child because they was mixed up by the headband. Now, something I left out, the person that kidnapped him contacted Denzel, and he wanted $17.5 million to get his son back and everything, right? So when he found out that he has the wrong child, he was like, okay, still, you owe me $17.5 million in Swiss bank accounts or Swiss bank notes, and I want my money. I don't care either way if this is not your son. And Denzel's like, this is not my son. Like, bruh, this is not my son. I don't know about no $17.5 million. You're not about to get that. You're not about to get that up off of me. Can we do something else? Like maybe $1 mil, $2 mil. Like, he like, let's negotiate. And dude like, we not negotiating nothing. So of course, your boy Paul is like, what's going on? Like, that's my son. That's your godson. Like, you was about to spend it for your son, Trey. Like, and Denzel like, yeah, but that's my boy. That's my son. That's my blood. I was going to spend it on him. Like, I'm going to give up the world on him. But I don't know. 17.5 mil is a lot. I don't know if we can come up with that. So Denzel goes inside the room to talk to his son because he's happy that he's home, And his son is upset because, of course, they still got his friend. And I feel bad for the little friend because the friend is all tied up in the bathtub inside this home, and he has to listen to this song that let me tell you, I personally would not be bumping to and everything, but it's just not for me, okay? And I do love hip hop, but it's not for me. I feel like, do they write the hip hop songs, the rap songs, or do they let the artists write the rap songs? Because just because it's something that you want them to be saying, don't make it always the good thing. Like, consult other rappers, because the score in here was no. Okay, so Trey is having a conversation with his dad, and he's like, you got to pay the ransom. Like, my friends and people on the net, they talking about how I can't, my friend got snatched because of me and everything. I'm not going to be able to live this down. I won't be able to finish school. How, what colleges is going to take me for football or whatever, or basketball, my bad. what schools are gonna take me, like what schools are gonna want me, so you have to fix this, like you have to pay the ransom. So Denzel is like in a dilemma. He's like, I don't know, like he's still like, I don't know, but his son is like, I'd say pay it, like he gets upset, whatever, and Denzel is like, boy, who you talking to? But then they do this weird thing where Denzel gets in his face and like they tap foreheads or something. It's very awkward. It's just really awkward. I was like, what is that? Like, nobody does that and everything. Now, I know Denzel has this like presence when he's, acting and stuff like that and all. And, him as a father, you probably be like, listen, I'm not about to play with him. I'm not about to play with this man. So maybe that's what they were going for. But it just wasn't a natural move that a father would do with his son. He'd put him in his place, but it just was not natural to me. So anyway, the kidnapper, he wants the 17.5 million. He wants it in a all black Jordan book bag. Okay. And he wants them to drop it off. He wants them to take the train and everything. So they go through this whole little thing about, all the different streets and the trains. And, there's also the Puerto Rican Day parade that's going on, during this exchange or whatever, because Denzel, he agrees to make the drop. He agrees to the money. But then the kidnapper, which is the kidnapper name is Young Felony. Okay. He also wants Denzel's wife a Cartier bracelet or something. Like, okay, you greedy. You real greedy and everything. So she takes it off, because me, I'd be like, here, you just greedy. Like, bruh. Because one, for me, I was like, I think he should pay the ransom, and then I think they just need to track dude down and take that money back and everything. But like on my watch, I could not, with my godchild or any child like that I'm close to or something like that and all, like I could not just be like, oh well, if they pass away or they get, unalive because of me wanting to keep my money, like I just could not. I didn't feel like that was something that I could do. So I was glad that he made that decision to, give up the money. So then they take the money and they go on the train, and Denzel is just frilly lily with this bag, okay, of money. First of all, they drop in 2025 a tracker in this bag that is the size of a walkie-talkie, okay? I was like, what in the hell? So y'all couldn't get like a little ear tag? Y'all couldn't like sew a little button inside the bag or anything like that and all? What? Y'all put this big this big old tracker in there. I was like, what? I don't get that. So he's sitting on the train. At first it's not empty, but everybody the cops are like walking with him like, bro, I see you. I know y'all together. Like they didn't even try to act like they were separate or whatever. But anyway, they sitting in there and they on the train, and Denzel just got the bag like laying next to him. Like, yo, you couldn't pry that from my hands. You could not pry it from my hands, I promise you. So then when it started getting more busy and everything like that, he starts grabbing up the bag, and then all these people coming in, and they got all these big old like fake chains that got the New York emblem on it. It's a lot of New York. I'm just going to say that. It's a lot of New York. We get it. We love New York. It's a great city, but it was a lot. So there's a guy on the train that's like real loud, kind of obnoxious, and he's, that everybody's chanting and stuff like that. And yeah, things like that do happen on the trains, and it it can be annoying if you're in the process of celebrating, or it could be fun. So things like that do happen. Now, to me, honestly, this is the best part of the movie, was this whole little exchange. Like, he tells Denzel to go out into the middle of the cart, and he'll tell him when to drop the money bag. And Denzel's like, what, bro? I'm not dropping the money bag. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll tell you when to drop it. He's like, yeah, not dropping it. So he goes to the middle of the carts or whatever, and somebody pulls the emergency brake when he gets in there. So it's like a whole sequence or whatever. They got a couple of people working on this. So as he pulls it, Denzel slips while he's on the phone. He slips in the bag, falls out of his hands through the carts down to the ground, because it's one of the outside train train tracks, and it drops down into the crowd. Somebody grabs it from down there, takes it on the motorcycle, and hightails it out of there, switches it off to another motorcyclist, and that's like the whole little thing. They just going around and around, like dropping off this bag, giving it to this one, going down this street. Now the cops are like monitoring in the car also the big old huge tracker that they put in the bag. So they're going around trying to catch the people that's on the bike and, to capture them. And when I tell you that when that 17.5 million dropped down between that thing, I might have went with it. I was just like, you know what? I think I might have jumped down there too, because be prepared to catch me, because I'm going where my bag is going. That's 17.5 million. So anyway, they do this whole thing. They end up with the wrong guy. He got like a bag full of tampons. They got the wrong person, and the money is gone. So now they're back and they try to figure out what to do, because Denzel's like, I need my money. The people that he was supposed to get that money over to for his business or whatever, they giving him 2 weeks to come up with this money and everything, or they gonna fry him. Now, mind you, he is in the papers and everything, and he's like Batman. He's a superhero because he, saved this boy life. And the poor child, Kyle, was sitting on a little tire swing in the park with two with two like Puerto Rican flags, and he is sitting there just beat up, like real trauma. But I only laughed because he just was looking so sad. Like, I just was like, y'all wrong for leaving him with two flags sitting on the tire like he was celebrating. I was so thankful that they got this boy back, because I was like, poor thing. I would never want to know what that felt like. I would never want my kids to know what that felt like. And I'm glad they did not take long to get this little boy back. So there was a part in the movie where they were questioning Trey about, what happened and how did they end up getting switched out. And he was saying that he went to go get one type of food and his friend wanted something from the bodega, so he went over there to get him a sandwich from over there. And then when he came back, he was gone, and then he just stayed waiting for him and everything. But I'm just like, for all that time, like, what else was you doing? Like, what else was you doing? Because he was like, he was scared, he didn't want to leave him, but you didn't notice that he wasn't coming back. That means to get back, call 911 like immediately. And I'm like, and then you talking about New York, like how crowded it was for the train, the little parade and everything, but nobody saw a boy get snatched. Okay, so anyway, I was like, that just made no sense. And I know it happens, and it happens with children, but sometimes they're being seen. But if you're gonna tell me that he's in the middle of the day at a bodega, okay, in New York City, somebody seeing him get snatched. So anyway, the reason for the kidnapping in the first place is because Young Felony, played by A$AP Rocky, he is upset that Denzel did not want to listen to his music. He was trying to get his music heard. He's 35 years old, and in the song he's like, I'm 35, I'm still pretty, all of this stuff and everything like that and all. And he's like, you ain't want to hear my music and everything like that. So he did that. He took the money and everything because he wanted him to hear his song. Now, the way they found that out is because, let me get back to, they was questioning Trey about that, the time that they got taken. But, they was like, Trey needed a little moment. He was like, I'm not, I'm a little tired and everything. I can I take a little break? So the cops was like, yeah, you can take a little break. But of course, Paul's like, come on, Trey, you could do a little bit more because we need more information from my son. He's missing or whatever. So they let Trey take a little break. The cops was like, he could take a little break, man. He could take a little break. So they let him take a break. Now, I say that to say, because then when they got Kyle back, and Kyle is in the hospital and he's all beat up and everything in the hospital, and he's trying to answer, things about just his surroundings. What did he, remember from the crime or whatever. And, he's getting a little tired and exhausted. And he's saying that there was a song that was playing over and over and over. And he's trying to remember the lyrics, and he says the lyrics, like most of the lyrics and stuff like that and all. So he he's like, I'm a little tired and everything. So now Paul is like, well, can we give him a little break? And the cops is like, well, can you push through a little bit more, because we need more info so that we could find, we could find the person and everything. If you could just push through. And Paul's like, just give him a little time, give him a little break. And they still like arrogantly like, no. And so Paul is like, okay, but when Trey needed a break, y'all gave him a break and everything. And I was like, period. Like, I was feeling that and everything. But then I also, I understand the frustration and everything. But then it was kind of making me feel like, are you in on this? Is this like a setup thing? Because are you jealous and everything? Because that was like kind of a little jealous thing to say, about some kid. I don't know. It just felt a little like he was a little jealous. Almost like, Trey was more important than his son. And, I was feeling him on that, but I was like, yeah, but it's still a child. So, yeah. But I got where he was coming from. My fiance didn't feel the same way, because my fiance was like, let me tell you something. It's my son. You don't mention my son about the breaks he took. Go to bat for your son, fine, but don't mention my son. So I felt that too, So Denzel is listening. I forget how he's listening to this song and why he's listening to this song, whatever. I think he might have been on his phone listening to the playlist or something from Trey. I don't know. He ends up stumbling upon this song, and the voice sounds very familiar to him. It sounds like the mofo that called him about the ransom. So he rushes over to the hospital, and he's like, hey, Kyle, can you listen to this? Tell me if it sounds familiar to you or whatever. So he plays it and everything, and Kyle is like, yeah, that's the song, And so best friend pulls out his phone and everything, and he searches him up, and he's like, yo, I know that boy. Like, I remember him dropping off some music or whatever. I wanted you to hear it, but we never got to it, whatever, blah blah blah. We never played it and everything. And then he does like this little sneaky like look to the side, whatever, and he texts somebody something, and I'm just like, what are you texting? Like, who are you texting? So I don't know, it starts to feel like he's being set up. So then he, leaves with Denzel, and I'm kind of like, what's going on? Well, he ends up telling Denzel that he knows where the guy location is, and they're going to go over there and go handle this on their own. This is going to be some street justice type thing, because they're going to go get this money. They ain't got no time for these cops. They left the cops in the room with Kyle, and they going to take matters into their own hand. So they end up going to his home, and ASAP, Young Felony girlfriend, has a baby by him, and she lets them inside the house. Okay, she lets them in because she knows him, David King, and so she's just like, oh my god, like, oh, if Young was here, he would be so excited to see you. He worships you. He even named his son after you. He he always say that, you're going to be his big break, and you're going to get us out of here. Like, once he hit, makes it big, we're going to get out of here and everything. And she's like, giving and spilling everything. She is just diarrhea of the mouth. She is like, oh, he not here right now. He at the studio and everything. I could call him and tell him that you're here. And this are like, no. Like, let me go surprise him. Where's the address? And she just gives it up. You don't know nothing about nothing. You just tell where he is. Just that easy. I was just like, ooh, she mouthy. Oh no, she is too mouthy. So they go over there to this building with the red door. That's what she tells them is down the block, whatever, it got a red door. You think she called him? I mean, I don't know if she did, but he ain't getting no call from her. Like, no heads up, like, dude coming there or nothing. She just sent this man over there, and he goes over there, and there's no security. Zero, zip, zilch. They just in the hood, and there's a red door, and he goes around the back and everything. And then they have, like, a dog that is chained up. Like, if you're going to have the dog as security, he should be able to reach the person that is coming in. So Denzel squeezes his way past it. Nobody hears nobody hears the dog. So I don't even understand. Like, that cannot. It's like, beware of dog. Why? He's chained. Y'all don't hear him. What am I beware about? So Paul, he went around the front. He said, I'm going to drive around front and you go up in there and go get your money or whatever. So I'm just like, I hope he not setting him up and everything, because at this point I'm still thinking that maybe it's a setup, and I'm like, he about to do him in there. So Denzel goes inside there. He points the gun at the person that is recording, because young Felony is in the booth, and he got his eyes closed, and he's vibing and stuff like that, and so he don't know what's going on the outside. So Denzel pulls the gun on the guy. The guy gets up and everything, runs out. Don't call no cops or nothing. Like, I mean, I guess a hood person maybe wouldn't, but if that's your boy, you probably calling the cops or your boys or somebody. You're not just gonna be like, bye, because then you gonna have to pay for that later. Okay, we from the hood, like, we know this. Like, if you from the hood, you're gonna pay for that later. You just let me get set up like that, so you're gonna have to answer to that. So he just takes off and everything. So Denzel sits down, and this scene is so weird. I'm gonna tell you, I hated this whole scene. I hated the whole scene. So Denzel and this dude start talking and everything, and my holy question is, where's my money? Where my money? Give me my money, or you gonna have a problem. Give me my money, or you gonna have to worry about where your wife and your child is. You gonna have to, I mean, I ain't heard nobody wife and child, but I'm taking the, like, you gonna have to worry, where's my $17.5 million? Denzel is sitting down talking about, son, oh, who hurt you? Where's your father? Your father, you ain't know your father? And he's trying to, like, I guess, kind of mentor him in the process of having his gun, and young Felony is somebody, he got his gun and stuff like that and everything. It was, you gotta watch it. If you watching it, I mean, if you gonna watch it, I did not like that whole scene. So anyway, young Felony ain't hearing none of it. He pops off and, uses his weapon on Denzel. I'm trying not to get in trouble here. Uses his weapon on Denzel. Denzel is running after him. And this chase scene, y'all, this chase scene. So after the pop off, Young runs out the building, and he jumps off the fire escape, and he's running. Now he has a little lead on Denzel, and he's younger and more fit, right? So then we are to believe that Denzel also jumped off of the fire escape. Now, I know Denzel's not in his prime and everything, and maybe they just want to keep the little action scene going and everything, but the stunt double was not fooling me, okay? Anyway, Paul, he pulls up in front of Young, and Young pops off at him and everything. He gets glass in his eyes. Denzel stops to see if he's okay, and he's like, go catch him, go get your money, go get your money. So Young runs, and he goes down to the train station. So they're both like, hiding behind the podiums, and as the train pulls in, and so they trying to psych each other out. Like, Young is trying to jump on the train, when the doors are closing, so that Denzel can't get on it, and Denzel's trying to make sure that he gets on it, but also not trying to get popped and everything at the same time. So they do like this little cat and mouse thing or whatever, and Young, before the doors close, hurries up and jumps on the train, and then Denzel squeezes his way through onto the train, and they start walking, and he's trying to find him throughout the train. Now, Denzel is going up and down this train, and he's looking from cart to cart and everything. And then, of course, you have all the people that be on the train. It's very sparse. You got, the unhoused people, I got to say it correctly this time, that be on the train. And so he's walking past all these people, and he's looking for him, and he cannot find him. And I'm like, watch, he's up on top of this train, subway surfing. Sure enough, he's up there subway surfing. So eventually they start fighting. He jumps down on Denzel, and Denzel beats him up, and he passes out, whatever. And he gets caught. So they end up going to the house where the baby mama is, and he has the 17.5 million under the bed. So the cops is like, when they gonna learn that's the first place we gonna look? But ain't nobody in their right mind gonna be having 17.5 million and still be sitting up in the studio just like like everyday thing. Like, we out. I don't care, we out. Like, what was you gonna do with this Swiss money? Like, you gotta go. Why is you still sitting in the hood? Like, if anything, I'm still gonna go to another place. I'm gonna go to a hotel or something. But anyway, he had the money up under the bed. They got the money, and Denzel goes and visit the boy in jail. In jail, before he gets to jail, people are outside the jail and everything talking about son, sad young free, sad young free, like, idolizing him and everything like that and all. And he told me, so I ain't do it. Like, okay, the money was under your back, like, hush. So so then he's at the jail. Denzel goes visit him and everything, and he's just like, yeah, I'm about to make you a lot of money and everything. You need to sign me because, bruh, I done turned down mad deals. There's like mad deals for me now and everything. I done made your name popping before this kidnapping. You ain't know me, like you didn't want to hear nothing from me, but now everybody talking about you, you back in the business or whatever. So you gonna have to sign me because I turned all of them down. And Denzel's like, you know what? No, your music is not for me. It don't sound good. Like, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, period. Because why would I sign you, especially after you tried to take my son and you took my godson, you tried to take my money, then you popped off at me and everything. Boy, bye. Not about to sign you. What I look like? So Young is livid because all of this and he's still not getting that sign deal. Like, bro, you should have just took a deal from somebody else. Like, just take one of the other deals. Like, are you out your mind? That's what you get for turning them down. So now, mind you, after that, because he gets carted away and he's mad and he's screaming and yelling. And it was some weird angle they did because Spike is known for how he does his angles of his cameras and stuff like that, and I think it just didn't work for me in this scene, and I think I didn't really like it, but it is true to who he is, his cinematography and everything, but I didn't like it. That's sad. I didn't like it. So the end scene, the son brings in the artist that he's been talking and raving about, from the beginning of the movie and everything. Like, you have to hear her out. You have to hear her. And mind you, during this, I just want to note that they had Denzel, when he was leaving to go to give the money, he was dressed like with his baseball cap backwards, and he was doing the way he hugged his son like he was a teenager or something. Like, that was weird to me. And also he was doing these punching moves, like as if he was an ex-boxer or something, like he's swinging at the air, and I didn't understand what that was. So if anybody knows what that was, because if you look at the previews you would think that he was like fighting to come back as like the world's greatest boxer, because I was like, what is happening? Why is he punching the air like that? So we're at the end of the movie, and Denzel, his son, and his wife are watching the artist that he tried to sign in the beginning, or told his dad to listen to, and her name is Sula C. Singh, and the C stands for Can. So her name is Sula Can Singh, and she sings and she has a beautiful voice. It was nice. Like, I thought that her song, out of all the songs, in the show and the movie and everything, was nice, but it was kind of awkward and everything, but maybe it was just to show that he still has the best ears in the business. And as he's listening to her sing, he's like doing this thing with his ears, and I'm doing it like as if y'all could see me, but he's pulling it to the front, like, so he can hear her better, and he's pushing them forward and stuff like that and all. And I'm just like, I don't think we need it to be so literal. Like, we don't need to like actually see you moving your ears and pulling and tugging on them and everything. We understand the concept of that you have the greatest ears in the industry. We get that. So I feel like a lot of movies these days, like, they feel like they gotta point it out to us, like I am pointing at the eye, like I see you. Like, we don't need like the hand gestures. Like, we are smart enough to understand what you mean by that. So that was very awkward to me as well. So he ends up signing her to his new studio. He decided to have his own business with his wife, who said she's gonna be part of the business, and his son, which that's awesome. And that's gonna be their artist, and he asks her if she's willing to really work for it, and he believes her. So he ends up signing her. The end. And this movie run total time is, I believe, 2 hours. and I feel like it was probably like an hour too long. I don't know. I just could not wait for it to be over. And I was just like, oh, thank God it's over. And I'm so sorry that I feel like that, because I do really, really do love Spike Lee movies. I love Denzel Washington. You know, he's a great actor. And, to see one of maybe possibly his last shows, I don't know. He might continue to make movies. I don't know. But I really was like, I wanted to love it, and I just didn't. And I don't understand. Um, you know, I guess people, they have their difference of opinions and everything, but I feel like every reviewer that I watched, maybe now it'd be different, but everyone was gloating about it. Like, y'all gotta go see it. You gotta go pay for it in the theaters, because like it was showing limited, I think, in some theaters. I don't know, but I mean, should you watch it? That's up to you. This is just my honest review and everything. But if you want to see another movie with Spike Lee and Denzel, probably one of the last ones they'll do together, then make the call and watch it. But I just did not love it. And sadly, I feel like the score, the reviews and everything is gonna, once more people watch it, that the score will drop, from it being a high must watch, and it might drop down. And it's sad, but I just gotta be honest. I didn't love it. But I will say, Denzel is good in the movie. He's not, of course, the Denzel we know from years ago. He's older. But, his acting is still better than some of the other cast. I think the boys were fine. Paul was fine. The wife was not great. ASAP was like, he was okay. He was, ASAP was okay. He just, I guess when you have a role like that and everything, you could probably try to take it, like, you take it really, really far. And I don't feel like sometimes you don't have to. You could just be yourself and just be, because, you in hip hop. You live this life. And I mean, you don't live that, hopefully that type of life and everything. But, it was okay. But some of the other acting, like some of the cops was like annoying. I don't know. Yeah, so that's my review. If you have any comments and y'all want to talk about it, chat about it, curse me out in the comments, feel free. I'm still gonna be here. I'm gonna respond to what I can respond to and everything. I'm still grateful that you watched the video. And if you have a difference of opinion than me, then fine. Let's have a conversation about it. I'm not upset about it. I mean, I am still glad that I watched it. Spike Lee is always going to be Spike Lee, and Denzel always going to be that dude. So let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you liked my video, then like, comment, and subscribe so that I could bring you more. Thank you for the little subscribers that I do have. I'm excited to have a couple of subscribers. I thank you for your time. I thank you for the energy you put in and the time you put in to watch my videos. Thank ya. Bye.